Okay. Hello, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back for another session of watching me looking confused and have no idea what I'm doing. Anyway, let's get into it. So, let me give you guys some recap. Last time we were looking at the last time we were looking at the UI information, so trying to create the UI session for the inventory. But like I said, we better change the viewing angle for our game. So just quickly peek through. Let me just quickly check what was our progress, which is none. I did nothing all stream this week. Which I really should. I should really try to like do more. Yes, so the last time we were looking at the inventory UI, and yes, so the inventory overlay, and also there should be another file. Yep, here is it. The game scene, and also the what the heck was that? Okay, that's just the transcription, the translations. Game scene.gb. And for this one, we are gonna put it in the game information or the game UI bit, just because that's the thing we will display in every single game playing screen, like the map. And I'm started wondering, hmm that's the exact definition of promoting. I mean, the bot is just being extremely dumb recently. Alright. What were we doing? Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe we should go back on the view first, because I don't know if you guys can see the okay, that's coming up. So here's the structure. We have two different kinds of screen. This is, I call it the world map, which is the whole the big picture. Should they call big picture? Yeah, just the bigger map, and you as the character can walk along here and get into some of the city. In reality, this one you should not be able to drop any inventory in this screen, but that's fine. That's just a trigger. And so then we get inside the city. And right now, this is the platform. This is the platform screen, and I think we can leave the other one. We can leave the world map just like this. It will be easier for us to do anything in here because we don't need a complicated design for this one. We just need it to work. We just need to allow the user to just like walk around here and get to another city as soon as possible, or at least other location, not necessarily a city. And so, but inside the city, that should be our yeah, this one should be in the 45-degree angles, the 2.5D we were talking about. I mean, this is the first time I'm working on a game design. I do confused. Should I do like platforms or hmm. What do you guys think? The benefit of the platform is it is definitely easier to find like uh maybe easier to find resources, and also I mean gameplay wise it both could be very intense, and I just feels like the way we are handling it is a little bit hard to. I can think of one game I ever played that is in platform design and still able to create very complicated and long and lengthy uh, stage or environment. But I don't play a lot of platform games to actually picture the design we need in here. So I mean, it could be how to put this. Hmm. Okay. How about this? Uh. How about this? Let's not complicate things. Let's just let's just make it into a normal 2D game. Let's not complicate anything. And so that means we are going to do some adjustment here. So before we move on, let's just temporarily store the changes we made for the inventory, because we don't want to we want we want the tasks to be separate. We don't want it to mash into a big changes for different kind of, how to put this, we don't want it to smash into the same changes for different kind of function or feature. So what we are going to do is, sorry, we're going to just stage the current changes, stage all changes. Oh, sorry, I haven't put the, I didn't put the git. I didn't put a git on the screen. I just don't want to. That's nothing to see, so I'm not gonna put it on there. Okay, so now since we staged the changes, let's see if anything is broken. Okay, that looks good. Now we are going to change our the scenes. Where is it? Ah, yeah, here. Indoors. And so something. Okay, yeah, that's main. Okay, so we are going to change this, and we wanted it to be yep. I don't know what I'm yapping, but yep. All right, so let's just remove the player. And do I need to remove the player? Okay, let's see. In main, the player is okay. The animation, the stage management, the stage manager. Ground. Okay, we need to change the state manager and the collation. Okay, no, not here. No, that's just the UI, not this one. What are we looking at? You know, that's just the one map. Set of gameplay, blah 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 blah. Okay, that's not it. So we have to check the what's the state management? Where is this state management? Not show access door. I remember there should be yeah, character control and player platform. Yup, that's the other player. And so we want this one to be okay. Are we throwing this one? Throwing this one here? No, that's not the one. So we are actually throwing the same here. Tell you what, let's delete this one and throw a new one in it inside. See how it goes. And then I should have That was in a very early stage, so I have no idea. I completely forgot. Okay, good. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. And now I think we need to set up the camera. So, where is the camera? No, it should be somewhere here. What am I moving? Okay. Hey, can I lock it? Can I lock the... Can I just hide it? Yep. Okay. So... So, other than the vendor, everything seems fine. And we haven't implemented any... We haven't implemented anything yet, so that's just... We haven't implemented anything with the vendor for now, so let's just ignore it. And... Yeah, that doesn't. And we have to... Okay. So, one of the reasons why we have it separate, because in here we can do jump, or yeah, we can do jump in here, but we can't do it in the normal movement. But since we're in here, well, not no, let's just forget it. Let's just forget it for now. We are going to do the... Yeah, let's just forget it now. And then we are going to bring these... No, we are not squeezing anything. Oh, yeah. Restore. Yep. Yep. Okay. So now we get our change back. And before we do anything, we will have to... the loading is... It is insanely slow. I mean, this is a shitty computer, so that's that. Yep. Okay, so since we have changed our setting, changed the game design, we will have to update the project knowledge as well. So we are going to just to the view, save here. Okay. Okay, good. Now, let's target the overlay first, shall we? Did I ever explain the overlay before? And the inventory, game UI overlay. I think the last time we spent a lot of time just to go through the function line by line, right? So I'm not gonna do this time. Just don't want to waste everybody's time seeing someone doing boring stuff. I mean, the stream itself is boring enough, so no need for that. All right. Okay, wait. Yeah. I completely forgot about this. So we will have to. Or am I? No, I didn't. Sorry. I'm just gonna die. Oh, okay. So in this overlay, we are going to add a child loop. What's that? Inventory. Sorry. Hey, what was the structure? We're going to follow its structure. So, where was it? Yep, here. So we're going to have a panel, and the panel's name should be inventory containers. And then we will have to put the inventory here. No, not. Yeah. And it should be named inventory UI. Is that so? Okay, it is calling it inventory UI, but I'm not calling it inventory UI, so that's why there's a confusion. Okay, what have we changed here? Don't waste it, don't waste it, don't waste it. Okay, it is because there's no class name in here, right? Am I correct? Yeah, that's just because there's no class name there. Okay, and then we are going to need our title bar. And then we need a label. And name it title label. And also a button as well. And it should be named close button. Okay, now we got this one. And so we will need to update our UI and so in here we need the player to be passed yeah, we need the player to be passed from the outside world because 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 we want this UI to be used in multiple places, in multiple scenes. So the player must be passed. So the player has to be passed by from outside. And what we are going to use is this one. And we want the overlay as well. Okay. did we did we set up the world items? It kind of feels like we missed that one, right? Can you go like F yourself? I don't really need this. Can I not show the gift sub? No. I'm a little bit frustrated. Sorry, be right back. Okay, I'm back. Just gonna ban someone and filter some word here. It's just annoying. Okay, back on track. What were we doing? Yes, okay, checking. I don't think we ever implemented the world item yet, right? Or we called it another name. So I guess we're definitely calling it another name. Is that resources? Feels like it's in resources. Inventory data. No. And it's not component. Yeah, most likely here. I'm sorry, but where is the... okay. We'll have to create a world item scene. Yeah. We forgot this. We forgot this step. So we created the open inventory key. How do we? Project setting. Input map. We called it UI inventory. Okay. Let's just call it open inventory instead. Let's just follow the step. Okay. And we will have to create items. Create new folder. Row item. And we are going to create, where's the folder? Here. Create new scenes. And the scene should be area, sorry, row item, but it should be area 2D. So the area 2D will need to have a spike and edges and also a collision as well. Let's just give it a circle. Yeah. And give it a name. And now we should have the we should be able to get that one. That's definitely something we need to do as well, but let's just go back and check that one. Gaming UI here. Yeah, of course. So we'll need to give it a class name in order for the UI to grab the name. Yep. So now we can Now we get the name, and we can then go back to the code itself. Peaceful. So in here we will connect the inventory side. We'll convert the inventory signal in here. Just what the fuck is this keyboard? Yeah, it's definitely gonna fail because we don't have those functions yet. So let's put those functions in, shall we? What we need to open, we need to close, and we need to drop, and we also need the swap world item as well because that's in the drop function. And let's just put it in at the end. And we are not gonna put it in here because that's what we will have to change the path. Yep, that's what we're looking for. And now we also need these two. We need the player feature. We need player nearby and player left items. So we need these two. But even if we have that, we should still have issue because do we have the world mapped? So that's the overlay, and that's the game scene down here, right? But what about the world map? So the world items, it's saying the world item will have a player nearby and player left, but those haven't been set up yet. So let's ask it. Explain. Yeah. I guess because we haven't get to that part yet, so it didn't show me the world item script. But anyway, let's finish this one off first, and then we'll jump back to that one. because the world item will definitely need need to set up. Right now, the world item is just a scene, right? And there's nothing there, and there's no script, there's no whatsoever. So if we just leave it there, it will definitely got error. It will definitely throw error because there's nothing. And so this is a this is just change it for the test. Let's just grab it, put it in here. And okay, let's go back. We copy those functions for the signal, right? And now we will have to handle the input. Do we have any inputs handling in here originally? No, I don't think so. So the game URI we have right now doesn't have any input handling. We'll have to introduce the error handling from that code, from the AI answer to this one. So when it is ready, it will and so if you guys remember, I said that you should not be able to drop any items on the floor if you're in the well map, right? That also means you shouldn't get any item get picked up. You shouldn't be able to pick up any item if you are in the world map as well. But right now we're just testing a function. We are not going to do any changes at the moment, so we'll allow this to happen. We'll just ignore this for now. And so and before we do that, let's see what will happen. Let's just see what's gonna happen if we go in. Okay, that's normal because we haven't updated the inventory. I was thinking, how about we make this one work first? So we need to add this drop signal for the in the UI. I'm sorry, my nose is just killing me. I don't know why, but since I moved here, my nose is getting like very runny, and it's not even the the hay fever season, and I'm sure it's just not related to that as well because those pills completely no, it's just not working. I tried to visit the GP once, and they gave me some like spray to put it in those. It works for a while, and it does clear for a while. As after, I mean, it was 2 months ago, almost 2 months ago. It cleared my nose for a bit, but then after 2 months he come back. At first I was thinking, because I haven't slept very well lately, and also because of my cat, I am sleeping on the floor for a couple weeks now. She loved to sleep with people, and I have to. I mean, I don't have to. I can go back, but I'm just a sucker for spoiling my kid. That's a good thing I don't have kids. Otherwise, I would just gotta create a couple more spoiled brat into the world. That's not good. I mean, spoiled cats, spoiled pets, the world can take it. I'm not gonna bring them outside to terrorize other people, but spoiled brat, that's a whole other story. It's just not gonna do well for the world. So, on item drop, we don't have the function to begin with, so there's nothing to update, but let's just copy in here. Where was it? Okay, before we copy it, let's look through the function itself, shall we? So from this line, it is updating the inventory.gb. That means this one. That means the one we're looking at right now. And we are going to add a new on items drop and function. If there's not dragging items, so that means we will have to wait, is the okay, the dragging item is something else, so it's not. What are we gonna put in the dragging items? Let's just put a null in it. We have no idea what is it. So I feels like there's some misalignment in here. It's showing me the update for the part. It asked me to update for the inventory.gb, sorry, .gb, but it feels like this is not getting the data from my end. This is not getting the yeah, it's just not getting the script from my end. Can you show me the okay, let's just drop this one, and this is the one we are gonna drop as well. So it's so slow. I type in the word, and then I need to like wait for a couple seconds for it to pop up. mouse is killing me. I'm gonna die. Okay, so there are some key differences. It got 4 different signals, and I only got one. So mine is for the hover effect. So it got like drop, right click, drop outside, and also there is some background containers, items, blah blah blah. Alright. So mine is just saying mouse position, and the AI just rename it and put a more clear. The name is much clearer than mine, but mine was in a very early stage. I was just playing around, so and that was the only function I have at the for now. So, and you're right, you actually need to update. That's true. If player dot inventory is okay, so it got some backup in here. Okay, so now in theory, mine is definitely going to be our inventory data, but because the ad doesn't have full picture in here, I just sent it this like this file, so on the safe side it can't know for sure if that is inventory data, so it will just check if it is or not. If it is, then just apply it. If it is not, then it will create a new one. This is a good practice if you are like working with someone, because you can never say for sure if they do it correctly, or sometimes it's just a note, it's just a quality issue. If the game stages know after these pages, it could have problem, but because we know it is gonna know before this one, because it's we set it as a global, and also this thing will got load up after you like load up a save or create a new game, and the inventory is something you will open after this step. So in our situation, it would definitely be the inventory data. But still, this is a good practice, so I'm gonna keep it. Be right back. Let me grab a new box of tissue. All right, we're back. So, yeah, and now custom medium size. That's just this one. Oh yeah. So this is a new one. What was that? So it will create virtual containers, and that is just a grid. Okay, I get it. Uh, we got the slots container and the item container itself. So this is for like putting the items in here, and that's the setup. Same here. Okay. So let's just no. Let's run through it first. Okay, it's creating a virtual background for it's create a visual container. Just the background, the slot, and the items, and then it's creating a slot to store the items later. Same here. It's drawing the panel. So refresh items to display, that means it will update it. It will update when the list is like if you get a new item or after you drop something. So that's what it's for. Okay, where are we? Yeah, refresh display and create item display. What was this? What was this one? I don't remember we have something like that, aren't we? Okay, so I guess the changes was okay. So early on, we have our yeah, we have a we have a summary for the whole step, like the whole feature, the grid inventory, and it should we will separate it in a different step so we can more easily to apply the changes. And in here, in the first step, it was just setting up the item DB, the just a list of the items we are gonna use in the game. And then in the second step, we are gonna set up the UI. But in the process, it create a lot of different files because you can't just set up the UI. You will have to also set up the basic function as well, like how you're gonna handle the drag and drop, how you're gonna place the item, and so it will create a bunch of things, and some of it might appear later on the maybe next step or something like that. And I guess this this inventory item display is one of it. So like if we go back earlier, if we go way back, yeah, so this is the step we are talking about. This is the setup. And for the first one, we set up the item database. And the second one, we are just setting up the inventory data, which is the file for set up the user inventory, and we'll use it later on. And now we are going to here. Yeah, we are going to the items component. There's a there is a couple things we need to set up according to the AI. Uh, so the grid, for sure, we because we need the grid to place item, right? And the individual slot, and the because the grid that's just formed by a bunch of slot, right? So that's something we need, and also the inventory item as well. And so the interaction, the drag and drop, was supposed to be in step 4, and also like some other item, some other feature was supposed to be introduced later on. So, but in the process, because AI will to the AI, they are finishing the whole task all once and for all, right? It and so when it showed you what the next step, what the code for the next step is, it will show you something. It will show you the final version. They just separate into a different session to show you. They're not like, okay, I create a new task for this step and then blah blah blah. This is just not gonna happen. I mean, at least this is not in this case. it's clearly not in this case. So it will show you the final product, and that's why when you look through it, you'll see a bunch of things like for this one, we haven't created yet, so that's definitely gonna fail. Okay, so now we are going to look through the contents. Let's see what this one is. In topic and not hallucinating. Okay, so that's the overlay. We already did it. Create the world item scenes, which we kind of did it as well. And it will say add your overlay to the game scene. We already did that part. We can forget about the usage for now. And so there's some adjustment. Adjust the camera angle, no biggie. We're going to ignore that one because so this is a highlight and it mentioned creating code, so the code will handle that part. And so right now that's the version 4. That's the this is the part where we're looking at when we first start this stream. And the reason why we need to ask this one is because it never show us what the world items script would be. It just show us the overlays and the some of the changes for the inventory, and that's another showcase that the AI already have the full picture in the chat, but because the step doesn't require it to display it to you, so they hide it from you. But at the same times, they ask you to put that part in the code, so you would definitely got error. You definitely got error message. Definitely got a fail when you up to that part, and I think some people will say, "Oh, why don't you just ask them to show you everything they changed and come back and just try to copy the whole things?" I think the previous message is a very good example. So if we ask them to, if we ask the AI to provide the full set of changes, the full coding, yes, you can copy it. You can copy it once and for all, and everything's not good. But first, you will still have to read through everything, and if you need to change some of it, you will easily get lost in the process, because the next message, when you ask them to when you ask the AI to provide you the update for that one, it will just provide you the part they updated. And by the time at the end, you would have to ask the AI, oh, can you show me the full picture again? And it'll waste your quota, waste your usage. And secondly, yeah, it would just increase your processing time for a single message. I mean, you're as the human, not the AI. So I rather separate it and ask it like session by session. At least that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm comfortable with. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But yeah, there's no mention of this like inventory item display. And I guess if you just ask the full picture, at the beginning, it you could see this one. But so where is it? Ask it to explain. Draw in next step even and there's yes. So it said a next step in here, and think of it as a virtual one item in your inventory. If you have free, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So since it belongs to the inventory, we'll put it in here, a script, and we want this to be control. The name is inventory display. So the class name is a must, because otherwise the other one will break. Oh, we haven't copied it yet, so that's good. And then let's read through it. Now, for this one, we have a couple signal. One is when you click on it, when you left click on it and start dragging around. So in theory, it should call when you click on it, when you press the left button on top of the items, and the end will be fire when you release the left button. So that's that. That's very straightforward. So I'm just gonna copy it in here. And so these are just some setting. And okay, that's good. Straightforward as well. So we're just gonna copy in here. Just copy and place in here. So now get to the setup. We were on the okay, we just copy this one because this is straightforward as well, but we will have to read through the function call and create these items. So the data will be the items from inventory data. Yeah. So that should be the individual items. I don't like it put data as the name because data seems unrelated. I would much prefer it set items. That's me personally. I would much prefer it set items instead of item datas, but whatever. Okay. And so because we have item data here, so we just gotta put the data there, which makes sense. And so we need to allow the mouse click on it. This couple control for the mouse, I'm not gonna explain it here. You can just go check on the documentation if you're interested. I don't know how many guys just come to see me yapping or something like that. And so now we are going to get the data, the ID of the items. So, yeah. And we will get another information from the data, from the item database as well, which is just another file. Let me correct this. Let me show you correctly. Where is it? Yeah, data. Oh yeah, here. So if you look at this one, you see the data mean this one. The data mean this set. And there's an ID as well. So it will return this set. But basically that's the content. And for the AI, it's calling this function. Let's just go to this function, and it will show you. It will return the grid size for the to the function, which is our 2D vectors. This is just the x and y. You can think of it as the width and height. So yeah, that's that. Which is makes sense and clearly straightforward. So we're just gonna copy it, and we are going to get the position. So basically it just means where is the item putting on the grid. And because this is a display items, right? So it was just showing it. So you will have to set it onto the screen, and position is just mean the XY relatively to that scenes. Yeah, so it's you can see that it looks like the same, but we just use it differently. And so now we need to calculate the size of the items. So what does it mean by the size of the item? For this grid size, we are storing like how many cells does it take, x, let's say x mean width and y mean height. And you can see, like in this example, it took two columns as the width and three columns as the height, right? But we don't know exactly what size do we want to show on the screen. That's not how this display screen work. You need to see how many pixels it's taking. So, we know each cell is, for this example, is 64 pixel per cell. So that we will use the pixel and use the width and height to calculate how exactly the size should be on the display. So this is also very straightforward, and we are going to copy this one. And I just set this one is just set up the, let's just store the information somewhere else. Okay, but why? Where is this size coming from? And where are we going to use it? And why do we need it? So let's just read through it, because we already have the minimum size here, right? And in theory, the size won't change. The item is a fixed size. The size is provided by the list. So we shouldn't need the size to change. But what this custom minimum size actually for? And why it needs to be stored in a different variable called size? Let's just go through it. Yeah. So I forgot about it. So the size, it should mean the item itself, because the note itself. So we remember that this is a control note, right? And every note on the screen is just something like this thing. I don't know how to describe it in English, but whatever. So the size is just the default or the internal. Should it be internal? Yeah, it's just the internal property. Yeah, it's just the property for the control. My cat is just rolling next to me. The picture you guys seeing in here is it's about a month ago. My cat is now almost 3 months old. Her birthday is this Friday. No, I mean on May 1st. So this Friday she will be 3 months old. And the picture you saw you guys seeing is about a month ago, and now her body is almost double the size, but the head is still remain relatively the same. And the picture you're seeing is the head is very big compared to the body, but now the ratio is finally getting into the correct range. I hope her head will get bigger when her bodies get bigger. Otherwise, she'll have a first tiny head and a big body. I'm trying to not overfeed her. I'm not gonna waste a fat cat. There's just a lot of health issue. Okay, so now we have to set up the position. Position is another like internal, or the property belongs to control. So straightforward. And post.x mean itself, or does it? Oh no, that's just the position coming from the data. So straightforward. Let's just put it there. So now we need to set up the background, but like he said it here, it's for debugging. And so that's a debugging background, so we don't need it to be clickable, and that's why the filter is ignored. And this time we'll copy the comments as well, just to remind ourselves this is for debugging. And in the future, we will delete this one. Then that way we can minimize the code, the size of the game, the size of the code. Because once we finish this part, we don't really need to use this debug again. I hope so. So now we create the items, we create the icon for the items, and we generate a texture for the icon. We will use texture rich for texture react. I don't exactly know how to pronounce it. Sorry for my English. Yeah, to show pictures, and it is getting the icon path from the item DB, which again, it's just this path. And do we have everything here? Yeah, we got item show X and projectiles, which is good. Just want to make sure we actually have the picture in here. Okay, so we're gonna put it here. Yep. Oh, custom means sorry. So this is the default. This is the default property. This is not. Right? Yeah, this is not. Oh, that still is. Sorry, a little bit confused. Yeah, okay, but the icon itself is still gonna ignore the mouse click because the control itself will take care of the mouse click. So we don't want, and because this thing, the icon, the background is on top of the controller, right? The control itself. So you can think of there are different layers. The note is definitely on the lowest layer on this particular items, and we place a background on top of it. We place an icon on top of the background. So we want the clicking, the mouse click handling belongs to the control itself, and all the other two, like the background and the icon, doesn't really need to detect any mouse click. So we're just gonna ignore it. And now we are gonna check if the item is stackable. So we will get the stackable status by the ID from the item DB, and also we will get the current stack size. And if we can't find any, it will default it as 1 here. And the stack size has to be larger than 1, because otherwise if we set it accidentally or intentionally, whatever it is, set it to be stackable, but the maximum size is 1, then there's no point for us to check if we are going to stack the second one into the same stack, right? It's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna happen because it when you put one in one, it would become 2, right? It would become larger than 1. So that's that. And by the way, just to avoid any future controversy, maybe it's a good thing in the future. I'm not very good at coding, so don't look for me. Don't expect to see any like seeing someone coding that blow your mind or something like that. The only thing blowing your mind would be how shitty my code is, how shitty my skill is, and why people like me can still find a job. I mean, I see someone even worse than me, but still, it shouldn't happen. So now, if everything passed this condition, then that means it is stackable, and we will then show a label and how many and what was the size, what was the stackable size. So that means how many are they does the player have at the moment. And so we are going to just set up the style. We set up the font size, the color, the text color, and outline color, and the how thick is the outline. Everything in this part is just very straightforward, so we are not going to explain too much. And now the anchor. So this control, it means it is give me a minute. Okay, I don't think I have set the mouse up. The touchpad is so brutal to use. It's just terrible. I don't like it. Bluetooth. Show Bluetooth device, and yeah, let's. I mean, oh, okay, yes. Second, number 2 is it? 80%. Okay, so much better. Yeah, so where are we? Yeah, the anchor. So think about a drawing frame, a picture, and there's a different corner, right? You can separate it into about 9 sections, the top left, top center, top right, and it's the center part and the bottom. So there's 9 sections, and the anchors mean these items will put on which session on this screen. Sorry, not screen, on this note. And in this case, we want the number to be on the bottom right, which about in this session. You can see about this session. Yeah, something like this. So and why we need to change the position, because it means it's not at the bottom, but it will stick to the very close to the edge, and we don't want it. We want it to be like have some margin between the border, so we give it a -8 -8 on our x, -8 on x, and -y on r, -8 on the y as well. And this is not like we put it in the position of -a, -y. The minus equals mean minus this value from the one you already have. So it means okay, you put it on the bottom right, and then move it back to the x direction for -a, and -8 for the y, and that's it. So, and again, we don't want it to be clickable, so this is straightforward as well. We're gonna copy in here. Okay, so judging by this, the stackable got handle. We just create the label of the items. We just create a number of the items for this label, and now we are gonna put to like set up the name and description and the tooltip as well. So that means when you hover to the items, it will show the description here. So those are straightforward as well. We just gotta copy here. And so now this is a setup. This is the setup feature. And do we need to handle anything in the ready? No, we don't need to. We'll call the setup somewhere else. And so now we need to handle the input. Like I said, this thing is clickable, right? So we need to handle the input, and we only handle mouse click for the moment, because remember, we want to support controller as well, and this is just an event mouse button. So how about this? No, we shouldn't do it like this. Let's change it. spell sorry. In the future, so uh, we would like this game to support control in the future. So would you be able be able would you be able to update the codes? Update the. We need to be more specific because otherwise it will update the whole things. I'm worried it will. Not quite sure if it actually happens, but I have limited usage. Yeah, so there's a couple way we can do it. We can do this. If we're using keyboard and mouse, then it's straightforward. You just need to you just need to move your mouse and then click, click, click. That's it. But if we are going to support controller, there's a couple ways you can do it. Either you can like show the mouse cursor when you open the inventory, and then you use the joystick to move the cursor around, and then use the A button as left click, B as the right click, something like that. That's something we could do, but that will also create issue. Is that when we open it, it will stop the user from it will stop the player from moving around because it's shared joystick. And the downside of this is the user will not be able to pick up the items when the inventory is opened. And it is not the limit for keyboard and mouse because, like Path of Exile, if you want to move the character, you just need to click on the map, right? And in our case, we are using the WASD to move the character. So if you're playing in the computer with keyboard and mouse, you can still move your character and then use your when the inventory is opened. The other way is we have a highlight. So look at your joystick, look at your controller. We have a joystick and the direction buttons on your left hand side, right? And we use the joystick to walk around. And if we want to maintain this feature when they open the inventory, we can't share the joystick function, we can't take away the joystick function, so we must use the direction key. But it will be hard to use we are if we use that one to control the mouse cursor. So using like a highlight function to like pick up the items, we can keep the A as a left click and B as a right click. That's fine. That seems to be a better way. I mean, okay, don't complicate things too much. We will leave the highlight part later. Right now, we just need the AI to do some preparation, so we don't check on the mouse click directly. Instead, we check if there's some other input. Okay. Instead of checking, not just, instead of checking mouse event, we check and what was that? What was that? Okay, sent. Let's see how it what way it comes up. We only asked a couple questions, so don't tell me I already used up my usage. Or it's just my shitty computer. I don't know. Okay. What's the usage count? Why? How many questions have we asked today? Let's go back and count it. So we have no, that's the one we asked last time. So this is the first one we asked. One and two, three, four. So this is the fourth. How terrible would it be if I'm not doing the played plan? How terrible would it be if I'm just using the basic? Would it be like one question and that's it? I mean, I get it. It's not a big money. Again, it's just like 30 per month, £30 per month. It's not that big, but imagine if like 5 or 20 times more usage of Pro, and let's just check it. Five more, it is £65.77 per month. And okay, so five more. Imagine we got like 20, no, yeah, 20 questions, but 13 for, yeah, almost more than 5 times the price. That's just ridiculous. Pre credit remain balance subtest total balance total due today. Your subscription will be renewed on you will be charged. Oh, so that discounts only apply to the first month. That's just ridiculous. Your current prices on unused radio to remain not used today. That just terrible. I mean, before we move on, let's just go through the usage limit. Okay, I mean, let's talk about this a little bit. I haven't tried a lot. I haven't tried a lot of AI tools. I tried this one, and I'm mostly talking about the model, the algorithm models. So what I mean is, if we go back here, and you can see there's a version 4 in here. So we got Grok, we got ChatGPT, we got this one, I forgot to pronounce it, and also we got DeepSeek. I don't recommend this DeepSeek, but that's just because of personal reasons, so I never use it as well. So if you like it, you like it. I don't care. And so far, in terms of cooking, in terms of programming, this one works better. One is because uh for Glock, for the one from Elon's, it's good to handle like daily tasks. If you ask, it's something like the news, the maybe some research or something like that. It's good, but mostly because you can only use it on your apps or on your web, right? And every single time you have to update the you have to upload the file to that particular check, and you have to waste your first questions to provide the contents. Not like this one, we can provide the project structure, right? And also I can link it to my Git or other things. And I don't think Glock have those features. Maybe some of them. I haven't used it for program. So I only use Glock to handle some research about news, about Chen, about maybe when I'm doing uh some garden work, I will do research on that, and that's it. I mean, I tried to use Glock to develop the game before. It gives me a lot of outdated, not a lot, but some of them, enough for me to feel annoying and then not gonna touch it again. Not gonna use it for program again. I only use Glock 3. I didn't pay for the Glock 4, so I'm not sure if that has improved or not, but I already paid for this one, so I'm not gonna change it yet. And also this one, my company is using this one as well, so sorry. I know I know a lot of workmates are using this one as well, so it seems like a good option. And it does it in my personal experience that does feel good. And I tried ChatGPT before. I would say ChatGPT is the worst on this list. I'm sure there's something much worse out there. I haven't tried it, but I would say the three I've just mentioned, ChatGPT, Glock, and this one. ChatGPT is by far the worst on coding. It might be good at other things like consulting, research, or something like that. It could be good, but if you use it as coding, I use it with Copilot before, and it just keep forgetting. It's just keep forgetting it as an agent. It will randomly able to change the file for you, but it will randomly fail for that. Like, there was a task. I say, okay, can you help me to like read through this bunch of code and update the documentation on this particular file for me. And the first question, it ran through perfectly. It updated the file, and I looked through the file and found something I want to change. So I tell the ChatGPT, say, "Oh, I want to change this part of the file, and can you look through the other and I provided some new file for it, and asked it to, okay, so can you read through this file, this bunch of file as well, and try to update this session. And it just tell me, no, I can't do it. Do it yourself. And I have to say, no, you can. You just did it. And they said, oh yeah, sorry about that. I actually able to do it. Let me do it for me. Let me do it for you. It just keep back and forward for a couple times, and I just feel frustrating and say, oh, okay, from now on, you just tell me where to add it. Where you don't need to change the file for me anymore. I'll do it myself. Just tell me where. Just tell me the updated version for that. That's it. So I would say if you are doing programming, maybe this would be a better option. But if you doing like research or just asking general questions, Grok may be a better option. I think doing research is great, especially if you're researching on the news or some like political events. something like that, because it tied to the social media directly, and so it can put like more than the news, more than just the news. Not only it will put you the news, the source of the news, it will also tell you, oh, what the other things about this news, and is there any like extra information on the internet. But keep in mind, those social media posts is just social media posts. You can see, okay, who's talking about that and what they're saying about us, but at the end you have to do your own research. Don't just blindly follow whatever you saw on the internet. You shouldn't like laughing at the old people for believing AI video, and at the same time you believing anything you see on the internet. Yeah, but anyway, that's that. So now we reached the limit, and we can't use it anymore, at least for today. So we just go through the changes. And okay, so it remained the same in here, but it created a new session for the controller, the selection indicator. So it is trying to use the approach use the second approach I just mentioned, which is good. That's the one I was gonna go for. Okay, so my position. The first couple of is very straightforward. They're just trying to create the items. Let's remove the input function for now. And what was that? Why was that? Okay, yeah, we're missing something. We're definitely missing something at the top. So the change from here, okay, from here. So it is for the, hey, which one is it? For controller. So it's selected, and the selection indicator, just gonna put it in here. And also, since we are here, let's create this one as well. It would be after setting up the position. Yeah, so that means the indicator should be like behind the icon and the debugging background, which makes sense if you think about it. And we'll also behind the label as well, because we don't want it to like overlay on the label and cover up the numbers. So nothing changes in here. Let's just go to the indicator creation, and so create a simple border texture. I think the border texture will be fine. Maybe in the future we are gonna replace it with a better texture, but right now we're just gonna use a border. And we're gonna keep this part, but just map 2 too. because even though the border might look good, but we still want to change to a better one, because you can add texture on it. And then we are going to add this selection indicator, and we need to make it invisible right now, because we only want to show the selection indicator when you slide on it. So now we need to set the selected. It's just to set up the indicator. Luna. My cat is getting more active, and I think my rabbit is getting tired of this little creature. Okay, let's finish this. So set it, select it, either true or false. So that's straightforward. Okay, that's straightforward. So we're just gonna copy this one. We also need to add a new signal here clearly. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. I have to send the cats out of the room. I mean, I can do both. I can do like live stream and then keep an eye on her for now. And my rabbit do need some space. That's what you get when you cross the boundary. Okay, so where are we? Yeah, they selected. So if it is selected, then it will emit the selected signal and send itself out there. Make sense? Okay, then it will create the image. It will just flashing the selection indicator, and then once it's finished, and if it is not, then it will send out the deselected signal. I missed this one. Yeah. So it will show the indicator if it is selected. If it's not, then this set it invisible, and it's just acting the twist like the diffraction effect in here. So I would say this is very straightforward as well. So just copy it, and yeah, we will go check on the documents later for this one. But right now, it's just a very standard. It's just something very standard. So we're gonna just put it in here. And so go back to the inputs again. The okay, mouse support doesn't change. Kind of makes sense because we still need the mouse support, right? And hmm, the controller support explain. So the station system input system auto detect controller vs mouse. Mouse movement switch to mouse mode, controller input switch to controller mode. Okay, so ah, is that so? Okay. Hmm. Okay, so it that also makes sense because if you use controller to select the items, you when you move around, it's not like you're dragging it. It's something different, and so the animation and the calculation is different as well. Therefore, it's gonna use a different method to handle it. And this GUI input function is an internal function. Sorry, not internal function. It's a function that provided by the engine itself. So it is gonna call no matter what kind of input you're putting in. And so therefore we don't need to change anything in here. We might need to add some other support in here, but in this case it's checking if you're using mouse input, and if it does, then do the things with the mouse. Otherwise it's just not going to do anything. And when it comes to controller, we will have a different set of rule and different set of like user experience. So we don't actually need to change this function, which makes sense. So let's just copy this one. Good. So now let's look at the other one. And today we are not going to apply any changes in here yet, because we will need it to be a full set. We will need to go back and forth a little bit. But let's just look at it. So select the item. That's for, I guess that's for the support. That's for the controller support. Is that? Well, let's just see. Seems like it. Is controller mode still is the control? If you are using mouse input, then control. If you're using a mouse, then controller would be disabled. I'm a little bit conflict about this one, but I don't know. On one hand, I get it. Auto detection would be a better option because if you play the game and you swap control, you playing with controller, and you touch the mouse for some reason, you definitely want, and you still play the game. The contest is you still play the game. You just move the mouse, and for some reason, maybe you do want it to switch to mouse control. But on the other hand, it feels like it would cause a lot of issue. Think about it. If you play on Steam Deck, that's fine. I mean, that could that could have some issue as well if you touch the mouse pad and the touchpad, and the touchpad is kind of close to any kind of button, so it could be very easy to touch it. I feels like it could cause issue. And if you're playing on computers, for some reason you're using controller, you're gonna stick to controller, right? Because you plug it in intentionally, and so if I'm using controller and someone send a message to me outside of the game, or maybe I just want to go out and check on some like information, and when I come back it got changed to a mouse, I will be pissed as well. So I feels like we shouldn't do this one. Instead, we should let the user to change the change the method in the setting, instead of detecting what what are they using, instead of detect which one they use the in latest lately. Yeah, let's just mark it down. And so okay, how which? Oh yeah, this one. Okay. Yes. Okay. Let's just save it in the inside the project. Okay. So that's it for today. So next time, I think maybe this Friday, we are going to set up we are going to change the code a little bit, so we will get the controller or keyboard setting from the setting page, from the user setting instead of auto detection, and then we will finish off the inventory setting. Hopefully we can have something to see, maybe not necessarily a big thing, maybe we can see one or two items on the inventory, just a testing item, and hopefully we can like see the hover effect, the real hover effect, not the fake one we have previously. So that's that. Okay, I think that's it for today. Thank you, you guys. Surprisingly, it's more people than I expected. I remember it was like just two or three when I first started, but I don't know if the wheel is actually real or something like that, because it said 10 people, and I'm sure one of it is me. But anyway, that's that's good to hear. Yeah. No, he's not meowing right now. I kick her out from the room because she played. I mean, she's playing with the rabbit. You can tell she's not attacking it. She's not attacking my rabbit, but you know, kids, they really can't control how rough they're playing, right? And you know, the claw is quite sharp. I can cut the nail, but I can't cut the tooth, right? So she's playing a little bit rough, and I can see the rabbit is clearly getting annoyed. He's trying to avoid her. So I click the cat out of the room, and because I just can't keep an eye on her at the moment when I was doing stream. So yeah, that I can only kick her out. But I'll let her in once the stream is end, which means soon. Just gonna yap for a little bit. My rabbit seems tired. Yeah, but that's that. The that's how the project goes. I know we are doing very slowly, and I don't know if we can finish the game, or at least partially finish within like 5 years, something like that. I just hope by the time we, but yeah, I should put more time on it. And sorry, I feel like sharing on the stream is it's definitely gonna help, because if I'm doing it myself, and which I'm still doing, uh, seeing it out loud as seeing the code out loud, explaining it out loud is quite strange, to be honest. I mean, the rubber duck method is actually work, but I just don't have No, I do have a robot that friends or a girlfriend, and I love it by the way. But I don't think explaining it to that robot that would be a good idea because that belongs to that belongs in another place. Uh, yeah, and also I don't use to explain it to an object. I more like the idea to explain something to a human being. I try to do it with my cats, but what I got is just a bite and eat or a boring yawn or something like that. So she's she's clearly not gonna be a computer professional in the future. I was hoping she'll like become an AI expert and like take care of her family, at least take care of her own food. But that's not gonna happen. Yeah, but like again, if you want to how to put this, I saw in this platform there's some other people doing game development as well. I haven't saw their stream and I think I should. And they're clearly more skillful than me, more clearly know more than me, and so I think I can learn something from them. But if you want to try it, you want to start it, is the best time you this is the best time for you to start because a couple years ago, if you want to do it, yes, there's a lot of tutorial, there's a lot of like material for you to learn how to do it, but you know, it just it's just too much to learn, and especially if you have a day job and it's from a guy who already have the background. And if you don't have any background on coding or game development thing, then that's even more pain in the ass. But now we got AI, we got yeah, we got a lot of tools, even though it's super pricey. The like that's just ridiculous. How many questions we have today? Four. Just four questions for like 13 pounds a month. And the price is just ridiculous. I'm not sure if we use the like 3.7 version, maybe we will get more from it. But again, the quality of the question, sorry, the quality of the answer will be less, will reduce to I don't know, I have no idea. But I actually stopped for a while and try to do it myself because I was using 3.7 a couple months ago, 2 months ago when I first bought it, and it was awful. It was really awful. The quality is just bad, and that's why I stopped it and haven't used it since. Not since. Haven't used it for a while, and then they released the version 4, and version 4 did very well, and that's why I come back and stick to it. But I'm just poor. I'm just too poor to use it. But if you are indie developer and you just want to try it yourself, or you just want to start developing your dream games, first, if this is your first time, start small. Don't do don't do what I did. Plan the whole super large big picture, and it's just gonna destroy your confidence. I have none to begin with, so it's fine. Zero times anything is still zero. And then yes, start small and give you like a longer time frame. I still think buying the pro plan, the £13 one, is worth it. It will save you a lot of time, even though you only got 4 questions in a day. But you can still get a lot from it. Like, we actually get a lot from it today. We got a couple of hours set up. We got some like basic connection in here, so we can actually go through it. We can actually at least finish off the inventory data if we wanted to. But because we want to change something here, and I want to keep the I want to keep the chat room in this AI updated, so I'm gonna stop there. But if you do it your own, you can actually like finish off with like after you finish the usage, just keep doing it. The next time when you have the usage, just ask it, okay, that's the update, can you blah blah, can you, and then ask your question. But it would take up your more usage as well, so consider that. And it will refresh every 24 hours. So if your game is not a huge game, you can actually get a lot from it. So yeah, if you just want to start doing something, then do it. There's never a better time than before. And I think there's some people also worry about, like, since we're talking about AI, and I'm gonna yap a little bit. Since we are talking about AI, I saw a lot of people worry about the AI gonna replace you or something like that. I remember I said it last time when last week. Yeah, if you're just a coder, AI will replace you. So keep evolving. Turn yourself into a project manager and manage the AI. I'm not saying you go manage other people because they will get replaced as well. Just manage the AI. And that's the key to survive. Okay. Anyway, thank you thank you for watching. I actually got a lot of encouragement here, seeing more people watching me yapping. And yep, so thank you very much, and I will be back on Friday for the game. So here's the news. Here's the current schedule. At least the schedule I plan to do. Wednesday, Friday, game developing, yapping as well, and Saturday will be playing game. I usually do earlier, like around 12 noon to maybe 4 hours or something like that. But this week I'm gonna do it later because I have some family business to handle. And so this Saturday will start a little bit later, but then after that we'll come back to normal from 12 noon to maybe 4 hour stream. The reason why I start early, the reason why I start at noon is because I also have friends in Hong Kong, and I'm gonna cater to them a little bit. So yeah, that's why I start early. And on Sunday, I'm still thinking. Uh, Not quite sure on Sunday. I'm thinking of adding another stream on Sunday as well. But I do have another channel with my friend in Hong Kong for that's a Cantonese broadcast. If you guys happens to understand Cantonese, then welcome to I'm very welcome you guys to listen to. And it's just a podcast we with two of my friend chattering something on the internet. The last time we were checking, it was stablecoin, and before that it was AI. It yeah, well, we don't have actually have the like the topic plan. Is you just see what is trending at the moment. So if you guys are interested, I can you can go search TED.com, TECHDOGCLUB, yes, something like that. And so uh, it usually we usually do like 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours podcast. So I might do another stream after that. I'm trying to increase the frequency of the stream. But if you find me interesting, I don't know why though. You can follow me, and I will try and and try to leave something on the chat as well. Ask me any questions, or I don't mind if you curse or yell at me. If you want to find someone to argue with, like just generals, release your strat. I'm more than welcome. I like rage bait. But do it at your own risk. So anyway, thank you for listening.